noted the still wet hair and sleepy eyes. Incident at 27 West Broadway, 18th floor. Your primary. She lifted a brow. I'm on testing. Subject terminated at 22:35. We have override, he said without inflection. Pick up your shield and weapon on the way to the incident. Code 5, Lieutenant. Yes, sir. His face flashed off even as she pushed back from the screen. Code 5 meant she would report directly to her commander, and there would be no unsealed interdepartmental reports and no cooperation with the press. In essence, it meant she was on her own. Broadway was noisy and crowded, a party where rowdy guests never left. Street, pedestrian, and sky traffic were miserable, choking the air with bodies and vehicles. In her old days in uniform, she remembered it as a hotspot for wrecks and crushed tourists who were too busy gaping at the show to get out of the way. Even at this hour, there was steam rising from the stationary and portable food stands that offered everything from rice noodles to soy dogs for the teeming crowds. She had to swerve to avoid an eager merchant on his smoking glider-grill and took his flipped middle finger as a matter of course. Eve double-parked, and skirting a man who smelled worse than his bottle of brew, stepped onto the sidewalk. She scanned the building first. 50 floors of gleaming metal that knifed into the sky from a hilt of concrete. She was propositioned twice before she reached the door. Since this 5-block area of Broadway was affectionately termed Prostitute's Walk, she wasn't surprised. She flashed her badge for the uniform guarding the entrance. Lieutenant Dallas. Yes, sir. He skimmed his official CompuSeal over the door to keep out the curious, then led the way to the bank of elevators. 18th floor, he said when the doors swished shut behind them. Fill me in, officer. Eve switched on her recorder and waited. I wasn't first on the scene, Lieutenant. Whatever happened upstairs is being kept upstairs. There's a badge inside waiting for you. We have a homicide and a code 5 in number 1803. Who called it in? I don't have that information. He stayed where he was when the elevator opened. Eve stepped out and was alone in a narrow hallway. Security cameras tilted down at her, and her feet were almost soundless on the worn nap of the carpet as she approached 1803. Ignoring the handplate, she announced herself, holding her badge up to the eye level for the peep cam until the door opened. Dallas! Feeney! She smiled, pleased to see a familiar face. Ryan Feeney was an old friend and former partner who'd traded the street for a desk and a top-level position in the electronics detection division. So they're sending computer pluckers these days. They wanted brass and the best. His lips curved in his wide, rumpled face, but his eyes remained sober. He was a small, stubby man with small, stubby hands and rust-colored hair. You look beat. Rough night. So I heard. He offered her one of the sugared nuts from the bag he habitually carried, studying her and measuring if she was up to what was waiting in the bedroom beyond. She was young for her rank, barely 30, with wide brown eyes that had never had a chance to be naive. Her dough-brown hair was cropped short, for convenience rather than style, but suited her triangular face with its razor-edged cheekbones and slight dent in the chin. She was tall, rangy, with a tendency to look thin, but Feeney knew there were solid muscles beneath the leather jacket. More, there was a brain and a heart. This one's gonna be touchy, Dallas. I picked that up already. Who's the victim? Sharon DeBlass, granddaughter of Senator DeBlass. Neither meant anything to her. Politics isn't my forte, Feeney. The gentleman from Virginia, extreme right, old money. The granddaughter took a sharp left a few years back, moved to New York and became a licensed companion. She was a hooker. Dallas glanced around the apartment. It was furnished in obsessive modern. Glass and thin chrome, signed holograms on the walls, recessed bar in bold red. The wide mood screen behind the bar bled with mixing and merging shapes and colors in cool pastels. Neat as a virgin, Eve mused, and cold as a whore.